Good morning. Good morning. Please allow me to have my moment. I don't know why the ladies are so impatient with me this morning. Listen, whether you like it or not, I'm going to have my moment. Good morning, Jasiri lovers. How are you today? Thank God it's Friday, and I'm sure a lot of you are excited about the long weekend you're about to enjoy. Ileya is in a few days. Look at Lolo is dancing. Unfortunately, there's no one amongst the ladies that I'll be expecting Ileya meat from. Wow.
Yeah. You canceled yourself out. You should have been expecting from me, but you've said I'm not bringing you, so I'm not bringing
I'm not with you on it. I never said that too. I really want to appreciate our mother-in-law, mommy, mommy, Balogo, for all the way she cares for us, the way she takes nurtures us.
That's too much ass kissing.
Oh, really? For Ileya meat? Please, let's not go there because somebody is in our studio that will come and tell us not to have Ileya meat.
Why are you guys twinning though?
Whatever.
This is my woman.
Yeah, okay.
because
air kisses.
My friends, will you move on? Okay, before we go on a break and welcome our guests, let's take a moment to celebrate the truly special bond between a father and his son. In a world where men are often discouraged from expressing their emotions, one father's openness and affection towards his son is a breath of fresh air. Now, he regularly checks in on his son, showing genuine interest in his life and isn't afraid to tell him how much he loves and appreciates him. Well, as do your parents tell you they love you, even for the little things. Now, this heartwarming display of fatherly love and connection is a beautiful reminder that masculinity and emotional expression are not mutually exclusive. Let's take a look at some of their shared moments, and maybe, just maybe, it will encourage us to all be more open and expressive in our own relationships.
Oh, good morning, my dear Enoch. Thank you for calling yesterday. It felt so good to hear your voice. Let's do it more often. Have a wonderful day. I love you so much. Daddy. Hi, Enoch. I'll be needing a ride home from work today. Please stop by and pick me up after you're done from work and heading home. Thank you so much. Blessings. I love you. Then the son replies, okay, sir, no problem. I love
Sounds
you
like
too.
he said he loved me. Blessings.
Good morning, I like this one. Good morning, my handsome man. How was your night? Hope you slept well. Just checking in. Have a blessed day today. I love you. Then he says, just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you and praying for you today. The son replies, good morning, Dad. Yes, I slept well. I hope you slept well too. I hope you have a great day. I love you too.
But do you actually want to cry? Like, it feels so, like,
she does want to cry.
Her eyes are turning red.
She wants to cry.
For me. Thank you for putting gas in the car. You're welcome, my dearly beloved son.
It seems the father even loves him more.
Daddy,
is he single?
We need to know this.
No, he's married. We have a video coming
in class,
up.
just checking in on you. How are you doing today? Your physical and mental state. Oh, dear Lord.
This is the father of the
I love this one. I love you, Daddy. I hope you had a great day. Thank you, my dear Enoch. I love you too. Then he said something about I'm here with my wife, enjoying my beautiful wife. So this is the son and his parents. So we actually have a video, I believe. I hope we have that video in which the son actually really talks to his father. Okay, let's take it.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to say thank you for all the love and encouraging words that were said and shown on the last video that I posted about my dad. I really honestly posted that video because I saw all the other videos on that same Define African Parents trend, and it just hurt me. Like, it honestly hurt me because I know that my parents aren't like that. My mom isn't like that. My dad isn't obviously like that. And so I just wanted to show that there are fathers like that, African fathers, that show love and appreciation for their kids, for their children. And on that note about my dad, here is the main man himself.
Hello there. Well, my name is Dele Olaore, an African father, and it's an honor to be part of this momentous occasion. For all that you've said, to support my son, Enoch, I want to say thank you. Fatherhood is something very challenging, and I know that there are many out there through the comments that I saw who may not have experienced fatherhood the way Enoch has experienced it. I saw comments of people with tears, people just wowed. And I want to say that I have positioned myself to take the responsibility of being a father figure for many.
Can you be a father figure for us all?
So what I liked is when his son posted this and it went viral. There were a lot of people here in Nigeria apparently who knew, because he's Pastor Enoch to many people. No, Enoch is his son. Olaore, yes, Pastor Olaore. There are people validating that, yeah, you know, he was my lecturer, he was my pastor. This is how this man really is. Yes. And when his son mentioned the Define African Parents trend, it was a very depressing trend. I won't lie.
Honestly, but you see, the boy had studded ears, and yet there was no judgment.
No judgment.
I like that.
But you know,
the first thing that I thought when it started playing, the visual started playing, was perhaps it's because they're not in Niger.
Yeah.
That they're that soft with each other and that vulnerable, because the country also doesn't allow you to be as soft as you want. Because sometimes there's pressure, and then there's you trying to balance work and life and health and all the other things that are in between.
Well, so, I won't completely agree with that because we hear that a lot of people came out to validate, so that means, and obviously they were in Nigeria before they relocated, and for the son to be so used to it, it means that it didn't just start when they relocated. Like, he didn't see anything unusual until he started seeing the trends. I was like, wait a minute, that means mine is not like this. So I would like to say that regardless,
I asked him to, I wasn't sure if
probably, but regardless of the pressure and all, this is a wake-up call, not just for parents already, but for people who are aspiring to be parents. Like, you have to make the environment conducive, no matter what you're going through. You know, when they say if you're at work and the workplace is toxic and all, once you're getting into the house, shut it out of the door and then enjoy your time with your family. So you have to develop that culture of love.
I know a lot of parents in Nigeria watching this man. Some would say it's a bit impossible for them to be like that with their children because they were not raised that way. A lot of African men were not raised that way. I was just jokingly telling Tolu how weird it felt, even till my mom died, to just say, I love you, mommy. She would laugh and blush, and I would look at her like, she doesn't know how to really, really react to it. And I don't blame her, but you know, just long before she traveled, so she was a bit more exposed to that kind of culture. We applaud this kind of man. It brought tears to my eyes. I know if some men should go home and try this with their children, the children will probably run out and pack out.
It's not even just their children.
Daddy, are you normal? Are you dying?
They try it with their wife. Because, you know, we had the conversation with Dr. Okeowo yesterday about the challenges men face. Again, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I love the fact that we're able to show something like this. This is a man who is studied, he's abroad, he's taking care of his family, but his whole responsibility as a man, a husband and a father is not just financial provision. He's asking his son about his physical and mental state. He's concerned, and you can see that he's laying a foundation for the type of man his son will grow to be. And we need more acceptance of men with vulnerabilities and being able to express themselves. And we really, really hope a lot more men will be challenged by what Pastor.
But do you know that he's raising a unicorn? Because that boy...
Why should he be one in a million?
He's a unicorn he's raising. And I can very well assure you on the streets of dating, this boy might meet Jezebels along the way. So all this, I love you, like Chori Ekpesha, and what's all this warmth? I beg, put some acid in it. Let me rest.
And another thing that I appreciate in those texts was when he was asking for a ride, there was no sense of entitlement. That's another thing that I want to say. Like, I know that, you know, as a child, you owe your parents to some extent, you know, the love, the care and all, but a lot of Nigerian parents have made it in a way that pick me up from work, and you know I'm good. But the way he wasn't too demanding. He asked for it, and then he added the "I love you" in it. That way, I would even pick you. I would come earlier, like 2 hours earlier. I'd pick you. And I do agree with what Tolu said. Most times I try to picture our parents. They when even getting married, dating, they hardly ever said I love you to each other. So how easy would it be to now
My father of blessed memory told Katu, you are not on this table. Doctor loved you. He loves you still and he pampered you. So don't even go there. So you want to say? I thought she was going to say we started from the gutter.
We want to
now we're here.
Everybody started from the gutter.
Anyway, before I fight my ladies, were you going to say you started from the gutter, you were loveless?
No.
Okay, can I say my own? A big shout out to Reverend Doctor and Mrs. Adileru. Thank you, because when I call and I say I love you, My parents stayed back.
No, your dad is
My mom has picked it up.
No,
too.
your dad is well-traveled. He was well
But even so, it took a while.
No, you don't have to be
Almost
well traveled.
That is
Anyway,
right,
It still
You
took
haven't
a
seen
while.
parents that you say I love you and they form busy.
yeah. So the thing is, it wasn't a normal thing for my mom before, but when all of us started doing it,
She
she
got
said,
it.
and then,
Warming
it's a
up,
normal
yeah.
thing for her.
Anyway, we've already showed you a better way to be, so please be that for your children. It's very, very important. But anyway, today is going to be dicey because let me prepare your mind. If you haven't drank water today, please, I'm begging you, do so. Because our guest today will not be happy if you haven't. We're going on a short break, but because today is, a special day on Friday, it's Hot Topic Special, and the doctor is coming to call. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. Now, our guest is in the studio with us, and as Lolo said earlier, I really hope you drank your water because our guest is going to come for you if you haven't. This is Jasiri Hot Topic Special, and we're about to bring the house down. Let's do this. Wow. And I had something ready and planned. I was ginger. But I'm going to continue my ginger because our guest today is a popular Nigerian health influencer, doctor, and now he's adding actor to his resume. He's the founder of Healthy Brands and 100K Club, a non-profit organization. He's also the co-founder of Drink to School Initiative. He screams and shouts at us. He's unhappy right now. At us unapologetically on social media to drink water and not to drop that cup. So please give a very warm, rousing Jasiri welcome to Dr. Chinonso Egemba, aka Aproko Doctor.
Sorry, don't shout too much. It might be bad for your health.
Love it.
I don't know what he will say now.
It's the names of the women that he likes to call. Naso, Chinwe, Tolu. I'm like, what is it?
Seriously.
Is it personal?
What happened? I'm curious to know what made it start.
What happened?
Aproko Doctor.
Oh, okay.
As in, before there was nothing like this, Aproko Doctor. How did you know it was going to be accepted? What didn't give you the full chest to come out and say?
I'll be telling Nigerians what to
And
do and what to drink.
I think, first of all, thank you for inviting me to Jasiri Hot Topics. I like gist. So,
Hence, Aproko.
hence Aproko. And I used to work in IMSUT. That's like a very rural hospital somewhere in Imo State. And I got exposed to a lot of nonsense, right? I remember some cases vividly. There was this woman who brought a child in. Child was paper white. Wow. So they lost a lot of blood. And the child was having convulsions. And so I was asking, what have you done to, for this? Apparently, they had put cow dung in the baby's eyes. The woman had peed into a cup and poured it over the baby's eyes. Somebody had put the baby's feet in fire just to stop these convulsions from happening. But then I realized that it was a lot of people believed this, right? It was in their conversation, they had their own mini Jasiri Hot Topics and they were discussing how to stop convulsions. Yeah, so, and I needed to help change that narrative. And so tried getting into a radio station. I didn't get in twice. And then I started using social media. But when I started using social media, I started with the traditional Nigerian doctor. So, hey guys, today we're going to be talking about hepatitis. But nobody was paying attention because I was battling with the skit makers, the people who travel to Bali every 2 market days, some people by beach, somebody just used excuse to wear 2-piece. Basically, that was what I was battling with, right? And I knew that Nigerians loved storytelling, and so I wanted to get into that space and use that as an avenue to share health information. And off the top of my head, I was just, okay, Aproko Doctor. People have never seen Aproko and Doctor in the same place. Besides, I'm never going to mind my business. So,
Wow.
it's stuck.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Okay, let's not waste much time.
Because the next question was burning.
I knew, I was talking to you actually. I was going to say, Catherine, don't waste much time, but I was trying to be respectful. Because like Aproko, I don't mind my business. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our first hot topic for the day. Are we even ready? Are you ready? It's already burning under my skin. I need to issue a note of warning though. If you watched the show yesterday, it got heated and we didn't have time to dig into all the layers of this story. So, Catherine and Lolo, please behave yourselves. At least allow me finish before you let me.
What did I walk into? Just wait.
Don't worry, you'll find out.
Okay.
Please behave yourselves, ladies, before you let loose.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now we're revisiting the story of Chinwe Splendor. Have you heard of it? Don't worry, I'll give you the breakdown. Now, Chinwe Splendor's University has demanded that she returns her certificate after her podcast remarks about sleeping with lecturers to achieve past classes and exams and ultimately to graduate. She admitted to rarely attending lectures and graduating by exchanging sex for grades. Now, in that same podcast, she now said that she also all the CEOs of real estate companies in Anambra State specifically had engaged in sexual relations with all the female realtors in the state.
You like this just
As in, she did not stop there. She now went again and claimed that 95% of female realtors in the state were into hookups. She did not stop there. She also now said that she has slept with all the CEOs. Now, they have collectively maintained that Splendor was not a registered realtor of any real estate company in Anambra State. For more context, please, let's take a look at this clip.
Blessing, sir.
Ije university. Kedu ka isi wee jee university? Kedu afụfụ ịta na university? Ị ka na-agụ ka wala?
Agụchago m. Actually, agụcha m akwụkwọ 5 years ago.
Okay.
Agụchago m. Oge m bata university, things were so hard for me. And enwere m option ọzọ na-abụrụ ịba okporo. And oge a nọ na street, sometimes adị m enwe time ịga lectures. Because njeche pụta otu a n'ụtụtụ, I will be very weak and very tired. Adị m enwe the time ịga lecture. Along the line, m nwa device kwa means ị na-cover kwa up na that side by ijekwa kọwakwa ndị lecturers. Enwere one particular year odo mine na magra lecture, mana emeke my papers.
All your courses?
Yes, emeke m ya. Other all means I had to do what I had to do to survive. So I slept with so many lecturers and any MD na real estate business. None of this Anambra State. Na money ana be dinabe. He should come out and say it. So as a lady not into real estate business, ofiara alo ilana this successful na the business. More than they sleep with some of these clients. 95% of women in whatever category, 95% of them not into real estate business are hookup girls. Open each upgrade the hookup get to the next level, maybe realtor. So open afula na ta oga web te go newe na akokwa.
It just is even boring Aproko Doctor's throat. He had to drink water.
Haven't you heard it? Okay, you were not aware of this story.
Lolo, they said we should behave. Please, let's...
So, please, before the ladies unleash.
Okay.
Because they almost came to blows yesterday as we were ending the show on this conversation. We also want to give you updates that the podcast host has also allegedly been arrested. We're not sure what for, but we'll get to that as well because his wife released a video.
Yeah.
Aproko, please help us. There are so many layers. She said they sent her to university. There was no money. There was no money. She entered the streets. She started sleeping with all the lecturers to pass. She didn't go to class. And university has asked that she return her certificate. In fact, they revoked. They don't even need her certificate back. They're just saying it was just a courtesy.
Yeah.
They revoked, even though we don't know what university, but there's speculation. Aproko?
And yesterday she also said that if we want, she can call all the other ladies
That were there.
Did you? She should go and call the lecturer's name. Why is she calling the lady's name? Aproko, we're waiting for you. You said you like gist. We have given you premium gist.
So, was it fair that the university asked for the grade back, for the
certificate back?
I think that there are certain criteria that must be fulfilled before you are issued a certificate. And one of those criteria is you should have proven beyond all reasonable doubts that you have control of the subject matter, which is the topic you're learning in school. And control is measured by exams. However, this lady has come by herself and said that she used other means to pass the exam. It's almost like driving school. If you give me a driving certificate, or driving license rather,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to move the car.
Yeah.
In other countries, what is usually done is before you get your driving certificate, you're supposed to go through a driving exam. When you fulfill that exam, you're issued a driving certificate. Ideally, that should be that should be the case. But if someone goes behind and gets a driver's license, and it's proven that that person doesn't know how to drive, I feel it's only better that you revoke that person's license for the safety of other people on the road. So it's the same thing plays here. She said by herself. However, I believe that this also calls into investigation into the school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's almost like you're shining the spotlight on one person rather than increase. Just let's go back a little and look at the corruption. She has opened up a
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box. And it's only fair that if she's been targeted, every other lecturer who was involved in that case has to be targeted also, because it means that they are not fulfilling their own side of the bargain.
Okay, who do I say? Their behavior, Lola, go ahead, because you look like you want to bust.
You know, when people come out, and I've heard stories of, this was staged.
Yes.
Then you can put an addendum
disclaimer,
or a disclaimer that some portions of this, like when I watch film and it's untrue, they'll say there is no way this relates to any living person or dead. You could have said that at the beginning of the podcast.
It's not possible.
You won't get the reaction and the engagement.
They can't say it now because everybody wants to trend.
That's what I'm saying. That is where education comes to play. Because a lot of people now that do podcasts, they just think that because we can talk, we journalists just sit on this side of the table and just yarn. You can't just talk.
Exactly.
There are many things we cannot say on this table because even where we get our information from is very important to us as journalists, broadcast journalists. You can't go off some floozy blog and pick up a story you haven't investigated, you do not know the veracity of it or the truth of it, and you come up and you lay claims on it.
Okay.
You can be sued.
Okay, round one.
No. It's not fight. Aproko Doctor is here, is referee, so we have to behave. My own is that, okay.
Don't behave too much,
So she has come out, and everybody wants to trend. We established that from the get-go. And one of our other guests who was here, Nidu, said the same thing. Everything is monetized now, so everybody will do everything to push the envelope to trend.
Yep.
Now, the thing she's saying, is she right or is she wrong? I have people who entered my DM to say who are in those parts, and they said it's better you like it or not. It's true. But like I said, I don't have proof to say these are what people are saying. Katim, believe it is true. So now I'm asking, what she said, is it true? Being the truth, being that she said the truth, if she was saying the truth, doesn't the truth matter in all of this? Because
the truth comes to play. The truth is exactly what we're saying on. She came out by herself. The truth is what we're standing on.
If she came out with herself, the doctor says, yes, the school, it has to be investigated. There has to be an investigation. Everybody, and like I said yesterday, it's because, all this is because she came out to say it. These things are happening under the cover. Madam, I did not interrupt you when you were talking. Let me land.
Okay, 30 seconds. 30 seconds, continue.
I say, so these are things that are not new. We all know it. The people they are just on it. The people who are doing it are on just a mad.
And they're not stupid enough to come out and say they're doing it.
But like I said, when we talked about it yesterday, we said that people would do anything to trend. It is her truth. She came out, she owned it. If she's facing the consequences and they say she should return the certificate, not today, she will drop the certificate and say, because it is not the certificate which she
Okay, pause, because some people have not spoken about it.
No, we have to go to market.
Go ahead.
So it is one thing to do whatever you're doing in secret. It's another thing to be dumb enough to come out to talk about it. That's one. Two,
so you're saying that because she came
I did not interrupt you when you were talking. Two, you are implicating yourself. That's not enough. You are implicating. I wouldn't say that what she said is a lie or is true, but that's a bit of a reach, saying that every lecturer in a school, every MD in a state has done something with you.
Allegations, blatant.
Let's go to market.
Wait, hold on. So she also needs to defend that, because that now becomes defamation and libel for any MD of a real estate company in Anambra State. What are you saying? Are you ready to prove it?
Exactly.
So they said we should go on a break.
Let's go.
We'll be right back. Everybody just
I'm just getting started. I want to talk.
Drink
We're coming
water,
back.
Drink water.
It is hot. Catherine also, you can see the steam coming from Catherine's head. But very quick information on this. Universities do have the right to revoke your degree under specific terms. If you engaged in fraud in obtaining the degrees, evidence of cheating on coursework, bribery of staff and admin, plagiarism, lying about admission criteria, and when you go in and you say you want to be a university student to that university, there are terms and conditions. What's his name? P. Diddy just got something revoked from, is it Harvard University?
Yeah.
Because of all the allegations against him in the video involving Cass. What I want to say is this. Whatever truth you have, you own it. But I think this generation refuses to understand that that truth comes with consequences.
Yes.
You cannot come out and make the kind of statement that she made, accuse people of sleeping with you, saying that 95% of female realtors in one state are all doing hookups, and not expect that there's going to be pushback, consequences, and the fact that people are going to call you on it. Yes. So please, let's go to the statement from the association in Anambra State that has debunked her claims. They said that they're still asking the general public to discard the video going viral about CEOs and MDs. Please, if your sister, friend, or your wife is a realtor, please, she is not sleeping with clients to close deals. Imagine how her statement is affecting relationships. It goes on, our realtors are not hookup girls, as Shiwe Splendor said on her video some days back. Her information about realtor CEOs and MDs is to create fear in families and also to the society at large. And some parts of the video have started causing problems in some families now. We asked the Anambra State government to call her, that's Shiwe Splendor, to order and pull down the video because the video has done more evil to many billionaires in real estate business in the state. We want to info the general public that so-called girl is not a realtor and she's not working with us. And this is coming from a Pool King estate family speaking for the general public there. So there's a lot. Let's look at what his wife, there's a video of his wife because the podcast host has now been reportedly arrested.
What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to fend? I have a sick child I'm supposed to take to the hospital. I'm low on cash. My husband is the person that handles all our business activities. I don't know anything about what we do when it comes to money. People know how... Good morning. Good day, well-meaning Nigerians. Guys, I haven't slept. I couldn't sleep. Sorry. Neither could my child sleep as well. My child has been sick, and it has been more than 36, almost 48 hours now, and I've not seen my husband, nor have I heard from him. Since yesterday, Jackie left the house, only for me to end up calling, and I don't know, everybody's shutting me out, nobody's telling me what is happening. You guys know my situation. You guys know what it means. Look at me, I am very heavy, and I have a very sick child as well. Please, I'm begging on Nigerians. I don't know what is happening. This is the first time something like this is happening.
All right, so last week we had Nedu, the host of the Honest Bunch podcast, in the hot seat, and he spoke about how we were going to see more of these types of things as monetization takes over. Let's take a look.
Living, and another thing, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. No one says it's gonna get worse.
No.
They say, oh, it's gonna get worse. You know, they said this June that monetization on Facebook is gonna come to Nigeria.
TikTok too.
TikTok. So monetization is the problem. Is one of the major problems. Monetization is when you have lots of views and they pay you for those views.
Yeah.
So people will do anything to be monetized. People will do anything to get that views.
So the podcast host has been arrested. Aproko, what do you think about that? Because if we're saying he gave somebody a platform and she made statements are libel and defamation. Those are typically supposed to be civil matters. But yet again, if you remember Rascal versus, I can't remember her name now, the lady in jail now, unfortunately, they've taken what should look like a civil matter and he's been arrested. What do you think?
I think those are like the excesses of the way it's being practiced in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because it's his platform, except he said some things.
I think they said he was staged.
staged.
I think they said he said it was staged.
So how are you still arresting me because I've come to say
that now, that's where defamation and all that comes, because you're staging with someone to destroy other people's reputation.
Yes, but it's still civil. It's still defamation and libel.
I know they'll take a civil matter. I don't think it's something that they need to.
Yeah, if I am to play the devil's advocate,
please.
He didn't actually mention anybody's name.
Yeah, he didn't.
Except I've not watched the full video.
Yeah, we didn't see.
So who exactly arrested him? Yeah. And on what basis was he arrested? Yeah. If there are no basis for which he's being arrested, that's wrongful arrest, and I think he's within every limit of the law to actually fight that.
Exactly. You know, maybe there is more to this because that is his platform. Yeah, because except he has done something illegal.
Yes. Except he has done something illegal.
I doubt if arresting him.
But it's shrouded in secrecy. No one knows who arrested him. No one knows where he's being held or he was taken to. And his wife is...
well, he could have just gone into hiding.
With a small child.
But like Nedu said, it's going to get worse. People are doing almost everything these days to
so
get
are we the ones who should
trend.
Then not be taking these things as the truth? Okay, I don't know if you saw that story of the young lady who
was he really arrested?
So we've been trying to find out.
Has there been any information?
Video, except from his wife.
Except from his wife. So we are only using one person's account.
And he just said he left home. She didn't say arrested.
She didn't say it was arrested.
She said he didn't come back.
We didn't play the whole video because of time.
Yeah, but it is probably even a narrative to even fuel the platform further.
And even as people do this thing. It's so something like that. At the end of the day, you're telling me that when I pick up this phone and I see anything on social media, I should not just keep moving. I should just not believe.
Yes. Take you with a pinch of salt.
At this point, it's a mountain of salt.
If no, if you have hypertension, you can't take a mountain of salt. Take a pinch of salt. Pinch of salt.
I say it's a mountain.
So we've now become detectives on our own, trying to fish out what the real story is.
From my own perspective, anytime you read anything from blogs, I think you should do it at your own detriment. I don't think it's something that we should put so much credence to. Because where you hear your information is very important.
But this was not from a blog. Blogs carried a podcast. Yes. So it's not that the blogs manipulated the podcast. No, the podcast was as it was. It was presented as is.
For me, I would still consider podcast something, it's your platform. You are not a trained journalist. You can come and say anything you like on your platform as long as it's not going to rile people or totally illegal. So that's what's going to be happening right now. Any podcast that you choose to listen to, I'm finding that anyone that can own a microphone. At this point. Now, everybody just says whatever they like. But people should know that there are consequences even to utterances.
Aproko, you want to say something?
Simple. Democratization of media. Social media, right? Everybody is a journalist. Everybody is an expert in certain issues. It will get to the point where people will begin to face the consequences of their actions and they will correct back. But you can't stop that trend from happening. It will get worse. There's going to be misinformation. We'll find a way as a community to correct back to what is quote and unquote within the balance. And then some other people will decide to take it some other way again. Life is long. And when they take it the other way, it could probably be, get to the point of gatekeeping, for instance, because the whole fight against traditional media, for instance, was because of gatekeeping.
Yes. I understand.
People, it was almost as if every information that was put out there served a certain agenda. And then that was one of the, quote unquote, the appeals of social media. People came over social media. Now we can say whatever we want to say without being told this is what you should say and what you shouldn't say. The problem with that is
people are not trained. They're not trained to sieve the way, even with our allegations, I understand. I want to throw something that we all seem to miss. She said that her parents sent her to school. The family was not well to do. She had to enter the streets. I wonder if anybody asked her, how are you paying for your school fees? Did her family? So they just keep quiet. This girl is still going to school somehow, probably bringing home some proceeds of crime, and nobody is saying, Auntie, I'm not the one who paid for your school fees. Where are you getting this? Where is the money for this coming from?
Tolu, what are you saying?
How
many parents in this Nigeria that
are you telling me I'm old school?
No, you are totally old school. Somebody told us a story.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, that a girl would come in from a night out. Oh no, I was discussing with one of my big uncles. She said somebody told her a story that a girl would come in around that Yaba area and she'll put her purse down and go into the room. And she'll come back out, and her mother had gone into the bag to take money from them. And she came out and said, never in your life, Mama, don't try to take money from my purse. Do you know what I do to get this money? And the mother will answer back, what we eat?
That's one. We had this discussion 3 days ago when someone, I think one of our colleagues was talking about it, saying that this woman has 2 daughters. She doesn't know what they do for a living. NEPA comes, cuts the lights, and she looks at her daughters, what do we do? And that one calls 1-2 people and, and says, oh, we need to reconnect and get NEPA units. And so the money manifests, thank you, my daughter, God, and showered her with all the blessings. Prayers in vernacular is stronger. And then she was going on and on. They tell you. So it has become...
Honestly, that's not even changing. Parents are testifying now about their children buying Benz and
Doctor, am I old school? Am I outdated?
They don't ask because they're scared of hearing the answer. So a lot of them just build the children and pray for you. God bless whatever you do. God protect you and all that. And I'm honestly just going to say that, we're celebrating we're talking about democracy. I would say, what's next? I think that the people that should celebrate democracy are Nigerians on social media because they are truly free to do whatever they want to do. And really, you need to believe whatever you see at your own detriment because people are faking injuries. People are faking kidnap. They're faking death. What are we saying? Is it this one they will not fake?
Let's move on to the next story.
Anyways, I want to ask Aproko Doctor a question. Okay. What's your birth position in the family? Are you the first child, the last child, or the only child?
Now we open door.
Wow, first child.
How are your shoulders?
There's shoulder part.
Don't worry, billing will bring it down.
Billing will bring it down.
So I asked that question because our next story, some of us on this table should actually relate to this. I don't know.
We're the babies.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this.
Okay, so a young woman under 30 making significant monthly income from her online businesses is struggling with the burden of black tax, supporting her family financially. Now she feels obligated to help due to their past struggles, but now feels taken advantage of and exhausted. Billing has brought her shoulders down.
So you see that she says she makes about 5 million naira monthly and about 15 million in revenue from running businesses online. I think she has an older brother and a younger sister. Her mom is hardworking and has trained them alone while running her businesses, and her 2 siblings are okay. But she now finds out that when they do meetings and things and whatever plans the family has, all of it mostly comes from her income. As much as I make, I pump the money into the house and my mom's existing businesses just to support us and let us stay afloat. I cover almost everything in the house, but I feel drained. They all tax me at every given opportunity and I feel like I'm being used. Now, she talks about the fact she wants to leave, but she says that she feels that if she leaves, people will say, oh, now she's making money, she's deserting her family. Aproko, firstborn syndrome. How far are your shoulders now?
Wow. I think it's common sense. Common sense says that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So the most important person you should take care of, irrespective of what your position is in the family, I'm talking to firstborns out there, is yourself.
Yeah.
You have to protect your earning power. And the only way to protect your earning power is to make sure that your savings are more than what you're giving out. Because guess what? If something happens to you today, your family will be fine.
Yeah.
Literally.
That is the naked truth.
A lot of us are victims of emotional blackmail.
Yes.
Right? And yes, sometimes it's good to be in that position where you can finally help. But if you let emotions guide your every action, you're going to end up poor. And you who was once celebrated now ends up becoming the person who is maligned. Because the attention just shifts to the next person in the family who's making.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I wanted to quickly chip in a question. She said something, and it's been a debate for a long time. She said she's a very open, transparent person, so they know that most of the money is coming from her income. So possibly they have an idea how much she's earning.
That's a first mistake.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was going to ask that. Do you think it's okay to let your family know how much exactly you're earning?
Why?
Everybody has different families,
Yeah.
right? And there are certain values that are in certain families, right? If you grew up in a family that has real values, your parents are not the ones who would celebrate your money no matter where it comes from. I remember the first time I moved into a bigger apartment and my father came to pray for me, right? He knelt me down, laid his hands on my head and said, if the money you're bringing is real, let it continue flowing. But if the money is from a dirty point, like literally said it in prayers, right? And
hand on your head.
Yes, hand on my head. You know, so
whichever one is yours.
You know, because things were happening so fast that he couldn't really. He couldn't make sense of it.
Because the way this generation can make money was never open to our parents.
It wasn't the way, you know, they could make money. But he said, as long as it's legit, let it continue flowing.
Yes.
And it dealt something in me. That was the kind of values that are present in my family. Right? But there are other families that don't care. And so your parents would burn you at both stake, burn you at both ends simply because of their own pleasure. There are parents like that. There are other parents who are also thinking about what's the future of this family, right? So it all depends. If your family is the kind of family you can trust with that kind of information, by all means, because some children have very open conversations with their parents, and their parents don't use that to take advantage of them. But if you know, like I said, it's common sense. You're supposed to read the room. Nobody.
See, but you know that emotional manipulation emotional manipulation can trump common sense. The feeling that if you, especially when you're talking about manipulation,
I agree.
If you hear the way some parents speak to their children,
I agree.
English doesn't capture how it makes a child feel.
I agree, but I also believe that everybody must get strong heart one way or the other. Because if you continue being emotionally manipulated, see, just look at the future where you're poor.
Yes.
And that should
and it's happened to a lot of people. You can borrow a leaf from. There are people who I have a friend. She did everything for her family, and I'm always you don't mean my mouth. I called her. I said, Sister Lee, hello. While I know you love your family and all that, but please,
I'm going to buy
do some things.
Yes.
And in the end, there was a time where her business took a downturn.
Thank you.
They moved on. In fact, they drew her along the streets as well, like literally. She became insignificant. She could not believe it, and she came to her and said, Kathy, you said so. You said it. I didn't hear you said it. As in, she became inconsequential. She asked herself, so everything I was doing for them so far, rice is finished. Oh, it's her. Whatever is finished, everything was literally on her. So
my advice.
Do you know the funny thing? The funny thing is, some of these people, like, there are two reasons why someone would want to be open to their family about their savings. There's that guilt of, you just want to take care of them. There's also the tendency to want to prove that you are making money and, you're doing okay. There's one of my friends that, she was always, I have to take care of it. And they're like, if this same question, if anything happens to you, the funny thing is, at some point she fell sick. The mother that she has been taking care of, every month, if I don't send her money, she's not going to. The woman contributed 2 million naira, and everybody's asking, where is this money come? I thought I was the only source of income.
But it was even good that they stepped up for them.
For her.
In this part of Africa, there's a lot of things that we need to change.
This part of the world,
in this part of
black taxes all over the world.
A lot of parents before would see their children like their retirement plan. But life happens to us differently. And that is what puts pressure on children. You want to be able to be there for them when you cannot be there for yourself. And at the end of the day, you end up spending yourself totally. And when you come back to that same home, the rejection you thought you had never experienced, that's what you're going to get there.
Aproko,
so it's better that you have
to give some advice.
Yeah, so I spoke to someone who works on my team who was being burdened by black tax. And I said, you're not really being financially smart, because you're thinking about your money in terms of amounts when you should think in terms of percentages. You need to determine what percentage of your income goes towards black tax, if you're fine with it. Sometimes it could be 10%, sometimes it could be 20%. So if you make 1,000 naira this month, 10% of it goes, irrespective of
the amount.
right?
Yes.
If you make ₦1 million, for instance, you could still afford to give 10%.
Yeah.
But if, the day you make 10 million, you now say, okay, let me give 5 million. The day you make 1,000, you give the whole 1,000. At the end of the day, you're going to have nothing for yourself. So it's just being financially smart. Think of your money in terms of percentages, irrespective of what comes in. This is the amount I'm keeping aside. This is the percentage I'm keeping aside. Or else, see, there's this sitcom we used to watch when we were small. When one man cooks for the public will finish the food. But you cannot feed more people than
you can.
So if more people are taken from you,
You have to find a way to
Someone
shield
actually
yourself.
told me something when I was in school, and I think I'm going to throw it out there to undergrads and people who are yet to get a job. They said the first 2 years of your getting a job, pretend like you don't have a job. Use that time to save. At least start saving. You would eventually continue saving. Save and invest before you start. Have a certain amount of money in your savings before you start considering others. Just pretend like you're not working, because the truth is they only know that you have money once they see that you start having money.
So I had this conversation on radio many years ago, and I remember this guy who called because black tax, family sacrifices and obligations. Then I feel for a lot of African firstborns, whether male or female. And he was the firstborn of 6. And he called and said he was made to drop out of school at secondary school. He didn't finish, and help his parents to put his younger ones through school. So it was his working that put the younger ones through school. I think the third born was a boy and got married, helped to finance the wedding. This guy was ready to settle down around 35. Do you know what his family told him? That if he settles down, who's going to continue to take care of them? So this black tax, it won't stop at, especially when you're single and financially providing. Yeah. Sometimes families will ask you, especially if you to not get married, to put off getting married so that you can continue to support your family. He wanted to get married, asked his brother for help. His brother's like, why am I, you're the oldest. Is it my fault that you didn't go to school? Yeah. My head was hot.
Haven't you heard that many times?
So you might delay your own, comings and your own milestones because of this. And we're not saying don't help your family, but as Aproko Doctor said, be sensible about it. And if you have families that do not put these financial demands on you, you don't know what God has done for you.
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
Well,
they said
I will see how they do this.
Pure evil. You know, we have to go, Shabbat.
But we need one advice from Aproko. It's not just drink water, not pinch of salt. What is it? How will you come to Jasiri? You will not give us advice.
Please be careful what you say, because I know what I want to eat this morning.
When toast bread and egg is waiting for them, let me tell you, they eat toast bread and egg every morning. Every morning, toast bread and egg.
No, eggs are good.
Toast bread every morning. Monday through Friday. These women.
Research has actually shown that when you toast bread, it reduces how high it spikes your blood sugar. That way you just eat it fresh. So the people eating toast bread, they're kind of enjoying,
so we are eating toast bread.
A bit. So it's you should remember this one I just said. Just remember, you see this feeling that you felt. Yes. Keep it in your mind, so that when I say the one you not like, you will not forget.
Please, we have to wrap up. So tell us the one we won't like.
If you're young, don't assume that your health is going to be perfect. Because that's where people make the most mistakes. 20 to 30 years, they don't think that anything is going to go bad. So they don't pay attention, take junk. But the thing is, whatever you do, okay, let me just do aspire to recover the container. Whatever you put in your mouth can either be food or poison. Choose.
Wow.
Then how do we know which one is food?
They said you should wrap up. See yourself. See yourself.
Food for thought.
We are going. Bye-bye. That's it. Bye-bye.
No, we may not know.
You know.
You know.
Deep down, your conscience knows.
You know.